Hello Prime Coders, welcome back to Prime Coding channel. I am Aditya Mishra and today we'll talk about the top 2 interview experiences of today which I got from candidate. Yes, from today onwards there are many interviews are going on. Okay, so these are the one of them and I got from 2 students. One is from South India and another is from I would say the middle of the India. Okay, so let's begin. It is on the date 4th of February 2025. Now, let's start with the interview experience. So, candidate introduction. Yes, interviewer told to reduce yourself, which is one of the first question. But here, interviewer didn't introduce himself to the candidate. Okay, so it is also fine. But candidate need to introduce himself first. Then straight away after that they move into their resume. Yes, in that resume, project discussion. And in that there are many type of question was asked. Okay, like what tech stack you have used and how you have make use of modern technology. Can you explain me how you use your React in your project? All about thing you need to explain about your project here. Okay, now technology come into the picture. Now most of the people in the FOMO they write everything in the resume that I am good in blockchain, I am good in machine learning, I am good in this, I'm good in that. Now the question were from there. Okay, so this candidate got the question for one of the machine learning techniques as he mentioned machine learning in his resume, but luckily he was able to answer those questions. Okay, we'll talk about those questions as well. So yes, if you have mentioned blockchain, let's say any of the technology like cloud or AWS, many things that people used to mention, please be prepared with it because there is no time to change your resume. I know people used to write OS, CN, and something cybersecurity networks. So if you know this, then all it is good. Otherwise, you are giving them an opportunity to reject you. Okay. So yes, please make a note of it. They are asking if you have some buzzwords into your resume. Now, programming question. So, programming question, I will talk about it specifically. So, yes, for that, we'll come back in the last. But yes, oops questions were totally asked for everyone. Okay, I got 2 interview experiences, I got 3 at least, but in that 2 is the thing that I can talk about because third one was the rounding over these topics itself. Okay, so loading writing, which means method loading and method overriding, was asked there, like tell me about polymorphism and can you tell me about their types. So candidate needs to talk about that with an example. So yes, loading and writing question was asked. Now means, what is means here? Means what do you mean by oops? Why it has been used? So these kind of questions were asked today. The classes object instance, which is one of the basic question that in every interview they do ask. Okay, what are classes? Can you tell me the classes which blueprint? Then object which help us to access the class. These kind of questions were asked like object and what do you mean by instance of a class. Okay, so although these names same, or yes, you need to explain it in a particular manner as well as take example, because if you take example your explanation will become very good. Okay, so yes, please take example and explain these kind of things into your resume. So now let's talk about the third point, which is DBMS and SQL. What questions came from here? Types of DBMS. Yes, first of all, you should know about DBMS, what is database management system. Then the question is types of DBMS. So are you able to speak about DBMS? So type you need to hierarchical, graphical. So if you know, then only mention this. Otherwise, relational and non-relational database management system, which I am aware of. Now, difference between relational and non-relational would be the follow-up question from your response. So this is the hint that you should not speak those things in which you are not confident. Okay, if you are confident in anything, just say it there. So this candidate said, and the follow-up question, what can you differentiate between them, in which at least mention 3 to 4 points in each sections. Okay, now question comes to the project side. Okay, so in the project, as in MERN stack, we have M stands for MongoDB. Okay, so in MongoDB, the interviewer asked, okay, are you comfortable with MongoDB? So candidate said, yes, I've used. So he asks about the use case in your project. Okay, why you using MongoDB and what is the use case or what are the advantages of using MongoDB in your project? So candidate was able to tell as well as the use case with the advantages. You need to mention whatever you're using. Now, ML question. So machine learning question, what was that? So first question they ask about confusion matrix. Yes, what do you mean by confusion matrix? This is one of the performance matrix which help us our algorithm to detect whether how much it is good or not. As well as on top of it, they ask about Yeah, linear regression. Yes, what do you mean by linear regression? Can you explain me that? So fully functionally, you need to tell. Now, if you have machine learning, it does not mean that they will ask you the same question. Now you will get an idea that the most important one they are asking on. Okay, accuracy metric, performance metrics is important. So you need to study confusion metrics. Then there are ROCUC scores, log scores. So try to go through those topics as well. You just need to speak one or two line on it because they are not expecting that you should explain in a full theoretical manner, giving formulas and all. No, you just need to tell the theory part of it. Now, if they ask linear regression to this particular candidate, it might be they can ask you logistic regression, SVM, or any of the linear algorithms that they may ask you. And if you mention machine learning into your resume, and it is not that they will only ask you the algorithm. It may be they will ask you, okay, you learned machine learning. What is the difference between machine learning and deep learning? So this kind of question can be asked to you as well. Now another question comes here is Java versus C. Now you may ask or you may think, okay, sir, this candidate might have things into his resume. That's why they have asked this question. No, no. Okay, C was not there in his resume, but they asked, okay, can you tell me the difference between Java versus C? In which you need to tell, okay, sir, C is different like this, and Java has 3 pointers advantage over C, and you need to explain that. Now, what I will recommend you is in your resume, you might have mentioned tons of languages, isn't it? If you are one of them, you need to study because if you have mentioned JavaScript, HTML, then you have C++, then you have C, then you have Python. Now be ready because they may ask you what is the difference between C++ and Python, Java versus Python, or JavaScript versus Python, or JavaScript versus Java. Okay, so any type of versus type of question in your languages, please start preparing for it. Now we talk about the duration. Aditya, how long the interview went because this a lot of question has been asked to this candidate. So the interview went till 15 to 20 minutes, which is pretty standard time. But the point to be noted here is it is taking hour. Okay, 1 hour to 1.5 hour of waiting to get your interview slot. Yes, it might be you have interview has been scheduled at 12:30 p.m. and the candidate are accepted in the meeting at 11:40 or 11:45, because that's why this creation of this video take time, because I was keep on touch with these students who have interview today. And yes, typically 1 hour delay is there, but if you are lucky enough, you will be getting your interview slot at the very first beginning or in the very first shot. So start preparing it. Now let's talk about the resources. Okay, then I will talk about the second interview prep. Now their oops question was asked, and as well as the DBMS question is also asked. So you can see we have 40,000 views, 64,000 views, 90,000 views. So please, if you're not prepared, if you are not confident in your oops skills, please go and study. If you have mentioned OS, if you have mentioned computer network, please go and study these things, because at least don't make a note of it at least, but try to watch so that anytime if they ask you any question from somewhere, you should be able to answer that. And most of the question you will find in these particular videos itself, because these views are not jokes in the education histories. Okay, so it takes a lot of effort to build this kind of videos, and yes, it will help you out. Okay, at least watch the top 50 DBMS, because it maybe they can ask you anything from the DBMS theories. It is not that whatever I shown they will be asking you that. Okay, so go and study this. And let's say if you want to take any referrals and you're looking for any mock sessions or interviews, you can take help of TopMate, which will help you out to get the referrals in just 15 minutes. You can just take referral in any of the companies. Okay, just you need to click, and if someone is providing or you want someone specifically and whose a session fee is also free, you can just click and find like suggest me software engineer of this company, and it session should be from free to 200, and get that free session, get that particular referral right away. And let's say few candidates or few mentors are charging something, you can just apply Aditya 20 coupon code, which is Aditya hyphen 20 coupon code. Everything is in running. You will get straight 20% discount. Okay, so please go and check that out right now. Now let's begin to the second interview experience. So surprisingly, in the second interview experience, I will tell is it was not that too hard, because every time if you go and study the previous year experience of Deloitte and LA, everyone is asking about the coding questions. Okay, either coding questions or either SQL questions or something. But in this particular interview, they only ask, okay, can you talk about hoops? What do you mean by hoops? The pillar of hoops. So he told about that. Now the basic question of types of inheritance can you tell, and that. Okay, so this was there from oops question, only basic question. It was not that they are going deep dive into it. Okay, then the next question was, most of the question was HR based from here. Okay, so let me check. Am I missing something? Okay, I missed one programming question. Yes, in the interview experience one. Okay, I will do it. Stay with the video. I will do it. Okay, so HR based questions were a lot, such as why do you want to join Deloitte? Okay, and what Deloitte do, what type of company do Deloitte is. Okay, and why like, oh, how you are think that you are good fit for this role. So this kind of HR question was asked. Or as well, like, if you went on like what is your hobbies, you will say, sir, my hobbies is traveling, I went here and there. So a few questions from there itself, because a candidate, this candidate went to Thailand. So that particular interviewer also asked, okay, so what you did in Thailand, what is the best part that you can want to tell. So this kind of question was being there. So if you have good thing into your resume, as well as you have multiple things to say in your HR questions, be ready with the follow-up question as well. Okay, so now let's talk about Aditya, what is the programming question that the first interview experience candidate got. Okay, so the interview question was, you just need to tell how many times like vowels has been repeated. Okay, let's say it is A, E, I, O, U, and yeah, yeah. So if it is that, either you need to find, because the whole thing was not clear with the candidate. But yes, this was the question, that A, E, I, O, U is given. You need to find whether this is available or not. If it is available, you need to print the count of it. Okay, A has been repeated twice, B has been repeated once, C is not a vowel, so B is not a vowel, so E is repeated thrice. So this kind of thing you need to return. So this was the code that you need to write it here. Okay, as well as I will also ask where they wrote the code. I think they have written the code on either in the Google Sheet or Notepad. But yes, if I get to know, I will be updating in the pin comment to check that out. And what you can do is, you can ask your doubts here, or you can tell, okay, sir, this is my interview happened at this particular time, and this is the experience, so that the rest people will get to know about your interview experiences. So you do comment down, and I'm thinking to build a coding question one shot, which will where I will cover most of the questions of programming, which is most important, like these bubbles, these strings, these numbers, then their patterns. So if you want that, do let me know in the comment section. Aditya, please upload those series. Okay, so now let me talk about the mock interview. So if you say, sir, I'm not able to speak well, I don't know whether I will perform well in Deloitte or not, because when we are taking mock interview, because multiple people are taking the mock interview of Deloitte, we found out that they know the programming, but they are not able to write those questions, or that write those program well. They are forget to mention I in the for loop, and they're using I. They are not filling up the while loop. Everything has been done, but while loop condition is empty. So in the pressure situations, you will definitely get stumbled, and you will not able to do your best. For that, we are here. Okay, I am not alone. I have a team of experts which are working, or who are working in big product based company, but these people have very high standards that they flash DSS. So I need to tell that the level of these companies are that much. So yes, a people is working in Flipkart, another guy is working in a safety company, and I am here to guide you all. So yes, we all are there to help you out, because experts means experts. Okay, so yes, cracking coding challenges will be given to you. Then HR and manager prep will be going to you. Then masters of behavior questions that impress the direct interviewer, because the people who crack, they know everything. Okay, now resume review will be given to you. Now personalized feedback and expert guidance will be given to you in the mock interview. Okay, so providing this much time, because it would be more than 60 minutes, and it is very hard to make any candidate to sit for 60 minutes, because 60 minutes is not easy, and we usually sit for 2 hours as well, until unless the candidate is not well versed with all the doubts, he is not satisfied, we will not leaving the session, and we will be guiding till then. Okay, I know there would be multiple doubts. You would need a great type of motivation too. We'll give you everything in the interviews. And yes, in the last, we do float the mentorship feedbacks as well, which most of the candidates do feel. They could watch the previous video to get it. But yes, watch the crash course series, which are available for free, and you are done with your work. Okay, so we'll meet you with a new video soon. Do let me know in the comment section how your interview went, or do you got your interview calls or not, and we'll meet you with a new video